Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, you can mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in this ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to give some basic information for yourself to build up a very clear and good and a strong spiritual foundation. So, if you look for yourself, you need that. Then start to get into practice yourself a little bit and give some self-attention and have some self-motivation and also develop some self-care inside deeper yourself. Because as you know, in this current environment, we live with the information world. So in this information world, there are so much information we can collect and we can go with or we can follow. But at the same time, you have to remember that all the information sometimes not going to help for us. So the thing is, when you caught up in too much information, once you start to go behind so much information, you lose the inner awareness. That is a greater challenge that today we go through. We all have that challenge. So then how you can overcome this, and at the same time, how you can practice your meditation, and at the same time, how you can develop your inner clarity. So as you know, when it comes to the information world, through these information agencies, corporations, they also knew this situation. And even 50 years ago, when the computer became very new to the world, that the kind of like Herbert Simon came with the idea about the filtering and have a very good, very clear informations, and also recognizing the very nature of the mind and following that. And he had the idea, and people had many kind of like a effort to build up same kind of machines similar to brain. And as we see today, it's most of time, it look like a kind of like a brain. This all the phones, computers, that then the most of gadgetics, that's the most of this consumer product. And sometimes it's kind of like have ability to track the human behavior, adapt to that human behavior and follow that human behavior. So by the time what happens, that knowingly or unknowingly, we are start to follow the machines. So look at and try to be very clear and understand the pattern and the situation. So in the beginning, they build up the machine to track the human brain or adapt to the human behavior and follow the human nature. So now what happened, just by ourselves, now we are adapting day by day, we start to follow the machines, and we adapting to the machines, and we start to become part of it. So we can't stop this. And so then how we can get a bypass? Because we can't struggle, we can't stop it, we can't blame it, we can't hate that. We can't shut down the computer, cell phone, or internet and TV or this kind of things. We can't. So then, and as you know that the last 2 years, people more into these machines and technology, but at the same time, there are a lot of people develop some kind of progress with their inner development because of this machines and technology. So we can't then blame to that. Only thing is, are we capable to get a bypass? Are we capable to go rather than resisting it or fighting with it, or are we capable to go around it and get the best out of our life? So for that, as you know, that they develop the filtering system. And as when it comes to the information, to recognize the right information, to accurate that information, they filter this information. So this filtering system, that one of the biggest, that the most successful and that the most of people follow this Google search algorithm. So that is one of the biggest filtering system. And so they are capable to get the whatever information related to that whatever we put, and all the videos and the other people's opinions and the history. So that kind of every categories that you can find. And also with the YouTube. So whatever the video you start to follow, and it has a kind of like algorithm, the search engine that develop, and whatever that the related to the topics, to bring the videos that more accurately. So then day by day, in this information world, what happening, they are categorizing, they are filtering, and certain kind of the informations and some kind of the pattern that develop belong to whatever our desires, and the prints, videos, newspapers, TV channels, and the food, or the books you read, or whatever you search. So, and they are capable to bring this all together and keep follow you, keep push you. And maybe as example, and you want to search about the Dharma, so you go and put the word Dharma, and then after that, your cell phone, your Facebook, your YouTube channel, and your emails, that everything start to get all that information about the Dharma. So, but when it comes to the information today, the 90% information, remember that the most of the information junk, that is the major important thing that we have to understand. So then how we can get out of this all the junk, rather than when it go inside us, how we can get out of it? Because the thing is, when this all the junk, unnecessary information go into us, what happens? It become kind of like a unprofitable skill to us. It creates a certain kind of negative effect on us. And once the very nature of the negative effect is hard to exist. Remember that. So it's nothing wrong with that negativity. But the thing is, once it enters to you, hard to exist. It is very difficult to get out. So then what will happen? And another thing is, the very nature or the very character of the negativity, easy to repeat. So hard to exist, get out of it, and easy to repeat any negativity. So then you have to be very careful with the information, because that is where the baseline. Out of the information we develop that all our life. So then you have to have as a solution for this, what you need, you have to have an inner filtering system. Your computer, your YouTube, and all the medias, Netflix, that whatever, that they have their own filtering system to bring that whatever you search. But at the same time, you have to remember, if you don't have your inner filtering system, you are in trouble. Why? Because so much unnecessary information go into you. And once it go into you, what happens? Hard to take it out. And other thing is easy to repeat. So that also a very dangerous, the result, that the unnecessary benefit that we get, easy to repeat. So for that to build up an inner filter system, that's why we need the meditation. So as human beings, in our mind, there is always unknown space. We always look the outside world, and we know a lot of things about the outside. As ordinary people, all of us, most of time don't know about our inside. So once you have that gap, what happened? This negative information's always going to that unknown space and settle down there. So that becomes, sometimes it becomes kind of like a unprofitable skill, and then by the time it becomes mental formations or the sanskara, and then by the time it becomes our life. So that once you come to the very present moment, what happens? Your inner filtering system going to become more clear. So that clarity, once you have that clarity, the very first thing that you have to develop with your inner filtering system, that attention. So that is the great challenge, because out of the awareness, the attention, if you go with something rather than keep the attention inside you regarding your inner intention, that sometimes again and again you bring the unnecessary informations to you. So we can't tell to people, I can't tell to you, so these are the information you should collect, these are the information you should follow. We can't tell that. I can't tell you this is unnecessary information for you. So like that. Only thing is you have to look into yourself and see what you build up out of your own life and what you know about you. And what is the lifestyle you build up out of you? Because that, as you know, in day-to-day life, when we have most of time that restful moment, when we get out of most of the activities and deeply we have kind of like an inner conversation. So that inner conversation that you go through with yourself is a very important. And because that information, that conversation going to be real in the outside world. So I'll give a very clear example for that. So sometimes when you have people with you, just imagine you have a good friend. And when everybody come together, you work and you feel so good. Maybe your husband, wife, your partner, maybe you stay together and you work so good. You have a very good conversation. You have a very good understanding. And you are so comfortable with each other. But when you are alone yourself, when you have the deeper conversation just by yourself, if you have kind of like thoughts or the idea about the partner or your husband or your wife or your friend regarding some kind of negative way, some kind of like when you have your own conversation with that, if you have some kind of arguments regarding the other person, if you don't like that person, if you go with kind of like the deeper judgment regarding the other person's character, if you categorize that person, remember, very soon you're going to have a disconnect with that person. So that is the power of this inner information. So then the other side, maybe when you come with the friends, when you come with the husband, wife, children, or the parents, or the partners, the neighbors, or the community of Sangha, or the teachers, the students, anybody. In the moment that you have very argument, always there is a fight, always there is a fight, always there is an argument. You know, always there is an unbalance in the outside world. But when you are alone yourself, when you have the conversation yourself, in that deeper conversation, you appreciate that person. You accept that person. And you believe that person is right, and you believe, oh, that person doing something good for me. Oh, that my friend is think about me. So that will affect for you. Even the outside that the things go unbalanced and you get arguments and fight and the other person becomes so mean, but still you're going to have a longer relationship. See that? That is the important thing, that you have to remember, this inner space that you hold with the information. Because if you don't aware about it, what happens? Knowingly or unknowingly, that the hard kind of like a very negative informations going to repeat inside us, and it's not going to happen but only for today, only for tomorrow, only for this life, and it's going to happen life to life. Why? Remember, the very nature of it, easy to repeat. That's right. And then when you start to develop with the awareness, now you get a spiritual bypass for this pattern in this world, in this environment, and you're trying to develop a method to get out of this, all the unnecessary negative informations, and you try to build up a very good balance, that natural and positive information. So how you can do it in the beginning? The very nature of the positive or the natural informations, remember, easy to enter. And whatever natural or whatever real, it doesn't matter that how hardly you go wrong. It doesn't matter that how difficult the environment, but when you really see the natural or the positive or the real informations, it right away enter to you. That is the good thing with the right information. So to tune to that, because that right information itself is there, exists, and right information or the natural information or the truth itself is there. You can't create the truth, but the false or the unnatural or negative informations always come out of some kind of creativity. Understand that. The truth you can't create, and the natural information you can't create. It's there. So then, if your mind creates some kind of method yourself, what happens? You are very easily start to grab with the unnatural informations. Why? Because it also created, and now that your method of accumulating information also created. That's why from childhood, by environment, by schooling system, parenting, so in many ways, what happens? We manipulate our own natural method of understanding, and we develop, we create a certain kind of mental pattern inside us. Now we are with that. So that's why very easily all the unnatural information come to us, because we also have a kind of like a magnet or the invitation or the system developed unnaturally. So the awareness means you go back to the very nature of the mind. Once the mind settled down, that with the awareness or the recognition, and right away what happens? You are calling to the very nature of the truth. So if you don't have the awareness or the attention, what happened? That calling not going to happen. That inner space not open to the truth. So the meditation will help for you to open that, the very nature that exists in you, which we call the awareness. So once you have the awareness, and out of that you gain the recognition. So the recognition is the very natural filtering system that you develop tuned to the truth or the nature. When you have the very clear recognition, what happens? More and more you're going to see the truth. So what the mistake we does now, what I want to mention, that most of time, if you create a method or the pattern yourself to think, and if you try to catch the truth, you can't. You can't do that. Because the mind doesn't go with it. Mind can't get it. So then you have to come and settle down some kind of way to calm and relax and keep the balance and have the undisturbed mind from the informations. And that is where you deeply can tune to the perception, and through the perception to the reality. So that way you can that trace, you can follow, you can recognize this all the inside outside informations. So once you have that, the very interpretation going to happen, going to become very clear. Because when the mind in the natural process, through the perception, when you reach to the nature or the truth and the right away, what happened, the very experience itself tuned to the truth, there is nothing to interpret there, because the recognition itself becomes the truth. But what happened when you don't have that clarity, when you create a certain kind of thinking pattern, and when you create a certain kind of thought patterns, and you reach to the information, and out of that what happened, you always build up an interpretation, and that interpretation become more and more disconnect from the truth. So that is why in the world, day by day, today, even though we have so much information, as you know, we are so far away from the truth. Because we are trying to interpret all our experience by our own thoughts. And then again and again, and that network becomes so and so and so big. So then it is your responsibility. You have to take a decision. And you have to settle down with yourself. And you have to maintain it. And you have to repeat it, and you have to go with it. And you have to accept inside you to settle down and be truthful to yourself, and to see that inner space, and see that yourself to be settled down there and keep that inner balance. So once you have it, remember, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that all the perception that you perceive, and you will see through that more natural things, and the more that kind of like a positive way, that all these natural things is very easily going to enter to you. So it's kind of like this, it's kind of like if I put it this way, you may understand easily. When you become very clear, it's welcoming the truth. So if you don't have that clarity, remember that even though truth in front of you, even though that nature, the natural things or the positive things around you, you're going to miss that. So that's why practicing meditation is a kind of like you develop a method with the tranquility meditation in the beginning to settle down, and not to repeat that already whatever we used to do in our previous lives, and even from the birth to today, that whatever we used to keep doing, especially with our thinking pattern, and in the tranquility we settle down and we not repeat. And once you stop that, what happens, once you settle down with your present moment, you get into your true nature, your natural state of mind. And once you have that, that is the moment the truth or the nature or the positivity going to to be there with you. That is the way that you can connect to that. Once it connect, very easily it enter to you. And once it enter, the very nature of the truth. Remember that the negativity, hard to exist, easy to repeat. The very nature of, this is the very key point, the very nature of the truth and very nature of the nature, the very nature of the positivity, if it is really entered to you, remember, it will never enter until you settle down with your true nature. And if you are settled down with your true nature, it will enter to you. Once it enters, the very nature of the truth bring the transformation. Anymore, you're not going to be there. You shift the moment. So that is what you need to develop day by day. Just imagine the negativity and all the unnecessary information will never will bring that shift. The negativity will always help you to maintain in the same level. And the repetition will happen. You're going to be the same person. So then you can get a measurement yourself and look into you and see. If there is no inner development, remember, you have so much junk information you collected. Maybe you put so much value on it, but if there is no change in you, if there is no development in you, whatever the information you collected is wrong. Wrong means negative. It means useless for you. But if you look into yourself, it brought some kind of change. And now the way you think, maybe the behavior, maybe regarding the life or the situations, that whatever you look, that your point of view is not the same like that 10 years back. And now you are more into towards the kind of like a positive way. And that's mean what? The shift already happened in you. So then you have to develop that path and keep it again and again and repeat again and again. So remember that we can't escape from this world and we have to live with this world, but still that this all the machines, technology, algorithm, this gadgetics, it's always going to be with us. And it's more and more and going to be there. And maybe if you don't develop the awareness, by the time what will happen, rather than machines follow you and you start to follow machines, no one can stop that. But still, there is a way that you can get a kind of like a spiritual bypass. So how you can do that? And remember, there is an inner space in you, and bring the attention and just see that and be truthful to yourself. Be a natural person to yourself. In that very moment, you will invite for the truth or the nature or the positivity. So once you have that, the very shift will happen in you. And once you have that shift, you already beyond this conventional level of existence. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say, Swapatveva, or may I be well and happy, 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring my attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chami sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Addaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahan Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless.